Then we're going to move into the banded exercises. The first one is ab prep. So on your band, this is really going to support your neck. You're going to lie on your band. Doesn't have to be too neat. Enough at the top so that you can hold it either side of your head. So this is thoracic flexion. We do thoracic reflection on the reformer. We do it in the mid-back series with our hands in the straps. Holding the band as close to the head as you can. Elbows slightly up into the air. Abs set. Take a breath in, nod gently through the chin. And as you exhale, you're lifting up, using your abdominals, pulling your ribs towards your hips. At the top, look at the legs, take a breath in. And exhale. And come back down. And again, inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, ribs to hips. Inhale, hold. Exhale, come back down. Slightly harder option is you can take it through into imprints, a little modifications you want to add on into tabletop. Glue the legs together, so as the reformer move again, inhale, nod the chin, exhale, flex up and over. Inhale, pull down through the belly, and then exhale, back. Then again, you'll recognise this one from the reformer. Inhale, nod, exhale, come up, bit of a gap on the legs, and then you're reaching. You can see my belly is shaking. Ooh, quite a lot. So enough of those. You're going to go between sort of 5-7 reps on those. Head and shoulders come down, and then one by one let your legs come down. So different variations depending on how hard you want to work on that one. Then into one leg circle. One leg circle, again I'm going to show you several modifications to make it harder. The band wraps over the thigh and then underneath. And then just when you're holding your band, make sure you always hold it thumb and finger on each side, and that's the least tension free. I'm just going to have my little head back there. Position, because just be careful with the band that you don't send tension up into your neck. Opposite leg is bent, it's a neutral spine, this is the easiest option. Inhale across, exhale, circle round, down and back up. So the idea is really using hips pulling to ribs, belly button pulling down to stabilise your torso as you move your leg independently. A little bit harder is the second leg reaches away into dorsiflexion to connect the hamstrings. Longer lever always a bit harder. And then the hardest one is extending the top leg. If you've got tight hamstrings, this one's awful. Inhale across, exhale. So 2 long levers makes it more challenging through the torso to stay stable. But they open up through the hip. If you've got any low back pain, these are great for low back pain as well. So again, probably between 5 and 7 on each leg for that one. There is a slightly harder version too. You want to pop it over your foot. You could repeat with the band in that position. So that's one leg circle. Then we go into bend and stretch. We're going to do single leg and double. Goes over your toes and over the top part of the foot, not under your arch because it'll just bunch up there. So you can have as much or as little resistance as you want on the band just by moving your hands closer towards your foot. Dorsiflexion in your ankle. Again, you know this one is single leg with single strap on the reformer. Taking a breath in, breathing out, belly button coming on, leading through the heel and squeezing through the glutes as much as you can. On this version with the band, you can take it into quite a low extension, keep squeezing through the bum as you lower down. Just watch you not pulling up through the shoulders and creating tension in your neck. Inhale, back up and back in. So you're probably looking again between 5 and 10 on each leg. Keep the collarbones really nice and wide so that you're not sending tension up into your neck and shoulders. You could roll up a towel actually, rather than, if you don't have a head block, just to pop under your hair, just to pull the neck down into a little bit of flexion. The deep neck flexors to work. You can also do this in lateral rotation. You just need to move the band to the inside. Same again, inhale, stay neutral in the spine, level pelvis, lead out through the heel, squeeze through the outside of the bum and the hip as you lower down. Nice little pop there. Inhale, back up, back in, same reps. Then, as you know, bend and stretch, both feet in straps. Better to have a little bit more resistance on this one, just so that you're nice and safe on your back. Breath in, as you breathe out, imprint, and then lead through the heels, really squeeze the bum. So this is more challenging than the reformer version. Again, watch the neck. Inhale, back up and back in. With the neck, keep thinking of really wide collarbones, big smile into your collarbones. 5 to 10 of those. Then, bend and stretch frog's legs. Same thing. Hands just come a bit more to the inside of the knees. Exhale, reach, squeeze the legs together, really squeeze your bum as you lower down. Again, watch the neck as you lower down. Inhale, back up and back in. Another hip hop. Ooh. Great, 5 to 10 in external rotation, lateral rotation. Then we're going to take it into back row and prep. So you might need to just play around with this one a little bit. I'm going to tie it onto the machine at the back because I've got the machine here. You can on this one tie it onto your door handle, sit on the floor, but I'll just have to show you something different to do with the hands because it might not work. Your hands might be touching the floor on this. So you can go long legs, you can cross your legs, go with whatever feels comfortable. So we're replicating plough. Plough works into the back of the shoulders, shoulders come up and back. Inhale, as you exhale, you're sending your arms back so that your shoulder is in extension, working through the back of the shoulders. Watch as you pull back that the ribs don't lift. Again, you're not putting stress into the neck. Chin down, exhale, little press back. If your fingers trail on the floor, just try it in that position. You're still working into extension on the back of the shoulders. Then you can take that one into tricep extension. And again, you can alter how hard you make this by taking the, holding the band a little bit further up. And quite easy there while I'm doing mine. So that just gets you into a little bit of back rowing, starts to work through the, supporting the upper back and the shoulders. From there, we're going to go into mermaid and spine twist. Mermaid with the band works the shoulders a little bit more. I should have had here's one I made earlier then. The spare band. What you do with your band is sit on it. And again, you can make this harder, easier. Crossing through the legs. If you want to sit on something, you can. So with mermaid, you're going to reach up, take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're coming up and over. It's a lovely stretch through the lats. Inhale, and then back down. So reach. Three to 5 on each side, and then with the spine twist, the band goes around your shoulder blades. And then there's a couple of little variations on this one. My feet down there. So hands below the height of the shoulders, not straight out at the sides, sitting slightly forwards. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you're rotating 3 times to one side. Inhale and come back. All the band is doing is it's just assisting you to keep your shoulder blades down and connected so that you don't go up and into your upper traps. If you want to work through your middle and lower traps a little bit more, as you come around, you can bend through your elbow. Just as a slight little variation, but that will get you into a little bit of rotation. Roll up. This is a mat work exercise. Little bit, suppose a little bit like feeding straps on the reformer. I'm going to use the band in my hand. You could put it around your feet. Again, options. So what we're trying to do here is use the band to set the shoulders so the shoulder stabilises work. So we pull the shoulder blades down. The band will actually start overhead. Feet are quite away from you, and I'm using my abdominals to pull me up. Here goes. Inhale, band comes up, shoulders down. Exhale, coming up. There go the feet, and over. That's not supposed to happen. Inhale to start to roll back. Exhale, peel through the spine, and then go over. So the reason my feet came up is because I wasn't using my abs enough and I was using my hip flexors too much. So I'll just have another go. Inhale up. Exhale over. It's better. Inhale, starting to roll down. And then exhale back and over. The other option is to take the legs long. That's harder. It's a long lever. Inhale up. Exhale, come up and over. Keep pulling through the band. Inhale to start to roll down. And then exhale, reaching over. There is an option too where you can switch the band so the band goes around the feet. You do the same exercise. The only problem with this one really is just you've got to really watch your neck. Elbows stay bent. You come up and over so that you're not just watching up around and the shoulders coming up through the neck. So just maybe slightly harder to control on that one. I think I prefer the band in your hands. Shoulder bridge, so we know this on the reformer, heels on the foot bar, we lift up and we push in and out. I'm going to tie the band around my legs, with my legs together, so that when I separate my legs I'm working my abductor muscles, so the muscles on the side of the legs. Feet are quite close to my bum, so I step out. So already I can feel these muscles working. I'm going to work my glutes. Again, nothing under the head because I'm lifting the hips higher than the head. Breath in. As I breathe out, push my feet down, I squeeze my glutes and I lift up. So it's a glute bridge exercise, you might know it as. Breath in at the top and then breath out to come back down. I'm staying neutral in my spine throughout. Breath in and then breath out to come down. If you want to make it a little bit harder at the top, you can come up and you can do some little pumps out to the side. Just watching that the feet don't move as well, that it does come from the hip, working out through the side of the hip and then back down. So that's just a little. There's also an extra little modification, makes it a little bit harder. You come up to the top and you start to gently lift one foot to challenge the opposite side. And on your exhale, lifting the other foot, inhale back down, 3 reps each side, and then you come back down. Good, that's it. So I hope you enjoy those. Hope they all make sense. Have fun. That's my doggies.